Now this refers to the process of specifying which ports you want to scan on a target host. By default, Nmap scans the first 1,000 most common ports, but you can specify a different range of ports to scan using -p option. In this video we will learn how to scan a specific port or a range of ports, or scanning multiple TCP new UDP ports, or scanning all the ports, scanning ports using a service name, and so on. For example, if you want to scan a single port of a specific target, then you can use Nmap followed by the IP of the target machine, which in our case is 56.101, and then for example if you want to scan port 80-P followed by the port. We can see that port 80 was open. Let's check for another port, port 8000, and port it was filtered. This could mean that it was closed, our port 8001. This also means it could be closed or opened. We are not sure about that. Next, scanning ports in range. We can do this initially by the starting port dash and the ending port. For example, if you want to scan ports from 20 to 100, we use like this. So these ports were between 20 and 100 and they were open. Now if you want to scan a mix-up TCP and UDP ports, and we can do this by target IP then -P and then capital U for UDP. For example, if you want to scan UDP port 53, and TCP port 21 to 25 port, and port 80 also, for example, if you want to scan UDP port 53 and TCP ports 21 to 25 and 80, press enter. Since we are specifying, alright, since we are scanning some UDP ports, so we also need to include the SU flag. So before have we. After the Nmap we need to specify these flags SU followed by the target IP, then port at 53 and TCP 21, 25 and 80, press enter. We need to run this with sudo privileges. Enter your password again next. For example, if you want to scan a mix of multiple TCP and UDP ports, then we can do this by Nmap and then the target IP. And then -P, then U for AD, and then T for TCP : the range of the ports you want to scan. Or if you want to scan one or two, 3 ports, then just separated by comma, we may get error. When we run this command, it says that since we are scanning some UDP ports, so we also need to include the SU switch on. So let's send the SU switch also and press enter. We can also scan multiple TCP and UDP ports with Nmap using the -P option followed by a comma-separated list of ports, numbers, or ranges. For example, Nmap -P for specifying ports in TCP 80, TCP 443 and at 53 on this target. Let's press enter. So we see that we have found 2 PCP ports open in the range we specified. So in order to scan a mix-up TCP or UDP ports, you have to specify like this -P then T:\port, :port, and then target. Next, if you want to scan all the ports on a target machine, we have do this like in -P- and then target. This will scan all the 65,000 plus ports on this target. By default, Nmap can only the 1,000 common ports. But with this switch you can scan all the ports on this machine. Definitely it will take some time, so let's be patient. It's taking so much time, so we will just use the -D5 flag for speedy scan. So it took about 400 seconds, a lot of our time, about 5 or something minute, because it was scanning all the ports up to 65,000 plus ports, and we even used the T5 flag for insane speed. So now we would learn how to scan ports by using these service names in May, ending the target. So it took about 400 seconds, a lot of our time, about 5 or something minute, because it was scanning all the ports up to 65,000 plus ports, and we even used the T5 flag for insane speed. So now we would learn how to scan ports by using these service names Nmap, ending the target, and then name -b followed by the name of the service, for example SSH, HTTP or HTTPS. For example, if you want to see if a target machine is SSH, HTTP or HTTPS turn on, then we can use it. Then we can find it out by using this code. For example, if we want to scan the top 100 ports on a target, then we can do this by Nmap and then -f for fast. This will scan the top 100 ports of the target machine, top 100 common ports. Again, if you want to scan the top 2000, for example, ports of the target, then we can do. Also next, if you want to scan the top in ports of target, we can do this by Nmap in the target IP then top ports. Alright, so this was all about the port specification in Nmap.